Hi folks, hope you're okay today. It's good to be with you. We're looking at sowing in ministry. Let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 9. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 9. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 9. For we are labourers together with God. You are God's husbandry, you are God's building. And then chapter 9 verse 11. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 11. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, it is a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things. So Paul was a sower in ministry. He ministered the word of God on the mission field and in the church. So let me ask you something. Are you sowing in ministry today? Are you investing your time in a ministry? In the ministry of sowing seed in your church and in the mission field? Paul said, if we have sown unto you spiritual things. And I remember the story of Miss Hudson, a missionary. As a young lady, she was living in an area. She died when she was 90, at 90 years of age. She passed away recently. And I'll never forget, she told me when she was a young girl, maybe 16, 18, on her street, this is like 1920s, 1930s, there was loads of kids in her area, and she opened a Sunday school. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, are we sowing spiritual things? Are we investing in young people, in children, in our area, in spiritual things? Are we using our time to spread the gospel? If we can play the piano, are we playing hymns in the local home? If we can teach children, are we teaching the children? If we can teach young people, are we teaching young people? If we have sown unto you spiritual things, are we sowing spiritually on the internet? Are we sowing spiritual things? Let's sow spiritually in these coming days. Let's invest our time in sowing the spiritual things, sharing the word of God in our ministry. What is the point of being a preacher? There are a lot of preachers today that are getting their sermons off the internet. You need to get fresh manna. You need to get fresh spiritual food, so that you sow spiritual food that's fresh into your congregation. Yeah? There are many youth workers today that are doing studies that are more cultural studies rather than Bible studies. Sow spiritual food into your young people as youth workers. Yeah? Wherever we are today, let us sow spiritual ministry. Let it be a spiritual ministry.